Reading scripts is boring. Just kidding. It can be boring, but it doesn't have to be. Let's face it, nobody really thinks to themselves, wow, I'm so excited to read this movie script. Yeah, no, they're written in a way that gives a very literal, basic understanding of the scenery and dialogue. And sure, it might look fine on paper, but in practice, if it isn't done right, it can often come out like this. You don't mean that. It's what I need. But what you need isn't what you mean. It is. See, it's super boring. So how do you fix this? First things first, dialogue is paramount. Unless you're making an Academy Award-winning art house film with no dialogue whatsoever, your movie is gonna be really boring if the dialogue doesn't pop. So you're gonna have to make your dialogue count. If somebody's saying something in your movie, it better serve some kind of purpose within the scene. Whether it's lighthearted banter, a somber and tear-jerking moment, or a suspenseful threat. People are always watching movies to see stuff happen. So when people start talking, then whatever they're talking about should be interesting enough to grab your attention. Now, I know I just said dialogue is the most important part of your script, but you also need to remember not to use it as a crutch. Unless you're making the next My Dinner with Andre, which is a really obscure movie reference that I'm not sure many of you will get. Nobody wants to see a bunch of people talking either. So in your scripts, you should include some stuff about the setting and environment as well. Not so much that it becomes like a novel. Scripts are meant to be like a general, very literal guide to like the scenery and stuff. But, enough to give some more personality to your script beyond the dialogue so that they go hand in hand. Third, and this should sound the most obvious, but don't just include a scene to fill up space. Every scene should serve a purpose, like the dialogue aspect we were talking about earlier. There should be no reason to have 10 minutes of two side characters drinking coffee together, unless your movie's a war film and they're two tyrannical dictators talking about their takeover while the resistance rages on from their palace window. I just came up with that now. Nobody wants to read a script and drudge through 10 pages of just filler and boring stuff to get to the good stuff. Now, I've actually been putting off a video script of mine for a while. Several, actually. So, I should get working on that.